New Love, Kalaric, Subway, set in Season 5. Jack goes to work for protection despite him also being human. Chapter 1. I know we did last summer. It was a dismal night as a newly turned back human cat walked through Mystic Falls. She needed protection, but knew she wouldn't get it from David, much less Elena, and she didn't want to defend Elijah's protection, so she was going to the only person she could semi-trust. Kalaric Saltzman, the town vampire hunter. Rick was sitting on his couch, finishing a shot glass of bourbon when he heard a knock. Since David had his responsibilities with Josie, Elena was at college, and there hadn't been any danger as of late. He wondered who would be knocking on his door this time of night. When he opened the door, the person revealed to him was the last person he expected. But then again, she loved a good entrance. Plus, Klaus in New Orleans meant she was safer, despite Elijah ultimately leaving her and choosing family over her. He knew she was on her own. He also knew that David wouldn't wish to help her unless he really had to. What do you want? He asked her. Hello, Elias, she greeted before asking him, could I come in first? He stepped aside after a moment, figuring she wouldn't be in any danger as a human, but also not wanting to have a conversation with her in a weird manner. She walked inside and sat on his couch. He closed the door once she'd done so. He then went to the living room, standing in the distance from the couch, looking at her. I'm here for protection. You're a vampire hunter. I have many enemies. Also, I have a feeling that someone's following me. I know you don't like me, but if my enemies find out that I'm a human, I can't protect myself. And half of my enemies will come after anyone they think I care about, true or not. So it will be good for anyone. And you know that no one else in this town will be willing to protect me, she answered him, as well as explained. After thinking over what she'd told him, he sighed. Fine, I'll do what I can to protect you, he replied before asking, who or what do you think is chasing you? She finished his drink. He left on his living room table, which was between the couch and TV, before truthfully telling him, I don't know. It's more of a feeling, but if I get a glimpse of the person, I'll let you know. She then set the shot glass down where it had been a few moments before. Well, if you're going to stay here, I can get you a change of clothes and anything else you might need. I can show you to the guest room and the bathroom. There's going to be a few rules too, but we'll talk about that tomorrow, he replied. Great, because I need a shower, she replied, getting up. I'll grab you what you need while you're in the shower then. After showing her the bathroom and bathroom, he left, walked to the front door, and went to a store nearby, assuming what she wanted and needed as a human. Then, after buying them, he left. He hated the time Klaus had possessed him, but in a situation like this, it was a plus. Remembering things he'd seen from Klaus' memories, things like the taste of clothes she liked as a human. When he unlocked the door, came inside, and set the bag of necessities in the bathroom, not looking, he could hear her taking a shower. Then, after setting the bag down, he closed the bathroom door. Then, after setting the other three bags on the guest room floor, he went to the kitchen to make something for her to eat. He knew after everything she was probably hungry. He knew he would be if he'd had to run and hide for a whole summer. When she'd taken a shower, put a t-shirt and a pair of blue jeans and tennis shoes on, she came out to find that there was a plate of Alfredo waiting for her. She was thankful for that, whether she told him or not. After all, no one had been this kind to her like this for a long time, for a very long time, apart from Elijah and a few true friends like Sophie, Paul, Emily, and Anna. She sat down at the bar and thanked him before eating. I'm going to bed. Let me know if you need anything, he told her, leaving the kitchen to go to bed. Half an hour later, she went to bed after finishing her food and taking care of her dishes. The next day, she woke up to find that she was well. She knew by that at the time that he had gone to his day, at the time that he got to his day job. He'd been dead for a couple of years, but he'd been able to get his teaching job back. She knew that that meant she would be alone for most of the day. It made her a little nervous knowing that the non-vampire would enter at any moment, though she didn't show it. When she went to the kitchen for breakfast, she found that since she'd slept in, he'd left a paper magnet on the fridge, telling her what the rules were. She usually didn't like rules, but she wasn't going to be breaking these ones, knowing it was a luxury to be having a place to stay. If she broke the rules, she was sure that he'd kick her out. She wouldn't put it past him. That night she decided to take a bath before Wick got home. So when someone came into the apartment, she'd just finished getting ready. She assumed the person was a liar, but when she turned around, she knew she was in danger. A lot like Tyler, she was responsible for him becoming a werewolf. At the time, though, she'd been making wolves enact their true nature, giving Klaus plenty to choose from. She wasn't a vampire anymore, but she could still endanger her. Aiden, she said, stepping back. Believe me, you don't want to hurt me. It may come as a shock to you, but there are actually people that care about me. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Someone right outside definitely wants to know. Why? You have a common friend, even if the war is a little crazy. I'm not going anywhere. Believe me, you don't want to be here when a hunter comes through that door. Believe me when I say that he's good enough that he'll get through a war easily. If you could dagger Elijah, he could put down any vampire. Then we'll just see. I never left her anyway, she replied. That's when she heard the war of Olivia, realizing it wasn't safe for her in town. She stepped back a little. She stepped back a little more as he began to approach her. The problem was that she didn't really have a weapon to protect herself with. That, and it wasn't a big enough bathroom like David's. He hadn't actually said it, but it was clear to her that he wanted his own revenge. She didn't blame him, though. He was a werewolf, so he had no choice but to break his bones every full moon, turn him into an animal. And she knew why he wanted revenge. He saw it as her fault that he'd killed someone she cared about. When Rick got home, the front door was unlocked. Then, when he came in and set his bag down, he went in search of her, but was cautious. A vampire couldn't enter uninvited, but the werewolf and witch could. Then, when he got to the bathroom with some difficulty, he opened it. She was always smart when it came to danger, so he found that she'd been able to put a chair against the door. As soon as he entered the bathroom, he found her space. Whoever had gotten in had somewhat injured her, and whoever it was still out there somewhere. He was glad that she was still alive, though. He went over and knelt by her where she sat against the wall, a towel on her leg wound. What happened? He questioned. Aiden, a werewolf I made to enact his nature. I was an active werewolf, so class would have plenty to choose from. Aiden wanted revenge because Aiden could control his anger. He killed someone he cared about. I doubt he'll survive long enough, though. He stabbed me in the leg, so I got him back, and an injured wolf about to go through his transformation won't survive, she explained to him. How bad is it? He wanted to know. Right now he could care less about Aiden. To him, her injury was looking bad, but then good he wasn't Meredith. He didn't know much about injuries. I'll be fine. Just do what I tell you. My mother was a lot like a doctor. If it wasn't for my subordination, I will follow in your footsteps. And you know how much I hate hospitals. I know, he replied. An hour later, after he'd tended to her with her directions and she'd had something to drink, she went to bed. Thankfully, she'd be okay with rest and letting herself heal. Chapter 2. The Long Lost Dollar. It was a beautiful day as Cat walked into a bar with Rick. They both needed a drink after everything, so they were here in the bar, but far from the Mystic Bar and Grill. Cat didn't want to take any chances, which meant staying away from any known areas that certain people would be at. She wasn't too sure what they would do now that she was human after all. She also knew that there were far worse people that would do very imaginable things to her, whether they were in their head or not. She knew it was safest to stay away from where she could end up face to face with someone that would cause her trouble. However, when she entered the bar with Webb, it wasn't very occupied, only had a bartender. Then she saw someone else. She was pretty good at knowing who was a werewolf and who wasn't. So when she saw her, she realized that she was a vampire. She stopped in her tracks as the vampire approached halfway. Who are you? The now human asked her. Not yet. Soon you'll know who I am, though, she answered her. You need to come with me. Rick raised his handgun towards her. She's perfectly safe with me, so you can go unless you think you could be best a hunter, he told her. If you let him come with, then I'll come with you. Then you can explain yourself, Cat replied. Having some common sense that she wasn't a danger to her, much less though she could. After a moment of debating whether or not to let her companion go with her, she accepted, telling her, very well then, but we have to go now. Rick put his gun away. She briskly walked out of the bar as the two followed her. A while later, they were in a hotel room. Rick finally closed the door, as Cat stood a small distance away from the stranger. I'm going to ask you one more time. Who are you? Explain yourself, Cat demanded. I'm partly here to protect you, but I also am here for answers, she told the fool rappers. What do you mean answers? I don't remember ever meeting you before, much less seeing you, Cat truthfully told her. We've never met, Willie, but you should know me. I searched for you my entire vampire life. I'll give you a little hint, though. You killed my mother in 1492. After a few moments of feeling out what she was trying to say, thinking back to the year that had brought her life upside down, she asked her, Who are you? My name is Nadia Matrova, and you are my mother, she informed her. After a couple minutes of shock, she got over it. She then replied, saying, It's nice to finally meet you, Nadia. There's just one question that's been nagging at me for 500 years. Where were you in 1498? I went back for you after I got away from class for a while. I searched every cottage and village, but you weren't anywhere to be found. I don't know. I was only 8, Nadia answered. Okay, so you said you needed answers, so ask away. I only have one more question. Why did you abandon me? When her daughter asked her one real question, it hurt to know that whoever had raised her and told her that she'd been abandoned, but she did show. That's not true. Whoever told you that I abandoned you lied to you. I fought as much as I could in that time. I didn't want to be separated from you, but my father insisted. I begged him to reconsider, but he didn't listen. He tore you from my arms right after you were born. He wanted to pretend that you didn't exist. You were born out of wedlock, so he didn't want anything to do with you. He also did it to make me suffer. Then he banished me too. I'm glad you never met him, though. He wasn't a very good person, she explained to her, keeping herself composed despite reliving it as she told her. Flashback 1490. It was a dismal night as Katrina Patrona sat up in bed. The mother at her side as her father took Nadia from the nurse. Please, Papa, she begged, tears streaming down her face. The father stopped her as the threshold and looked at her terrified. No, you have disgraced this family. It would be best if you never knew each other. As he walked away with Nadia, she continued to beg him to reconsider. Then, when he'd vanished, Mother comforted her as she cried, but told her as nicely as she could, "Let her go, Katrina." And then flashback. Now that that's settled, what are you here to protect me from? I've got the vampire hunter on my side. I'd say I'm protecting Lovecraft and Adam, wanting to know, but also concerned. You made many enemies in your lifetime, but there are some you never forget. You remember the werewolf Axel, right? Nadia replied to her. Of course, how could I forget? I was a young and forced vampire when I was young. He's the only werewolf I've ever made an enemy out of. I made a mistake of letting my emotions and urges grip the best of me. It ended with the slaughter of almost his whole pack of family. I created a vengeful monster by accident because I had no one to teach me, she replied. She then added, if you're going to protect me, then we're going to need a bigger place. Wilkes isn't going to hold another guest for long. I was hoping to stay on the radar with some people, but I think we'll have to move into the boarding house unless you want to take a road trip to New Orleans to ask for protection from some accents. Well, at least one or two that actually do like will put up with me. Sure, Nadia was offering extra protection for her against Axel, wherever he was. But that didn't mean that she had only one choice. She had more than one choice. She just didn't want to see Elijah right now, nor did she want Ito with class. On the bright side, though, there would be plenty of protection for her. That, and she could be valuable to class for against myself that she'd sent him to New Orleans to do. The other option was to go to the boarding house where she would constantly be threatened by David. Plus, she'd have to endure Rena's brother. Another downfall would be having to be around Elena on her college breaks. She may never have gone to school in the present century, but she knew how college worked in this century. I think we would be better off staying in this little town, so I guess let's go meet you a short day, Nadia replied. Still want to be going and meeting originals anytime soon. Plus, here she could handle David that she knew her mother had broken out with 3 years ago. During her search for her mother all her vampire life, she learned pretty much everything about her. The only thing that she hadn't known about was the vampire hunter. Chapter 3. Bad Wolf. It had been a couple months since they'd moved into the boarding house. Both Rick and Nadia asked for protection. They really hadn't liked having a guy with Nadia and Cat live there, but there were plenty of rooms. Plus, she knew how to avoid them if he wanted to. Because of this, they were all being civil with one another. And during the 2 months, they've been looking for a way to pull plan, plan how to get rid of Axel when he finally attacked. Really, though, the only way to make sure that she couldn't die was to smash the amulet necklace. Without the amulet necklace working on him, he he couldn't be as indestructible as he was. With the amulet, because he had it made by a witch centuries ago, he could stay at a young adult age, but also have fast healing abilities and a few other vampire abilities despite being only a werewolf. A month later, Axel finally surfaced ready to avenge his pack of family. So, in the middle of the woods, in a clearing, Axel stood half a distance from her. Rick and Nadia phased into his Western werewolf self. The amulet necklace was around his neck as always as he looked at them with his one green and one yellow eye. Then he bared his teeth as he growled, ready to launch himself into attack mode. Rick got his crossbow ready, but when Axel launched himself, Nadia was quicker, tossing Axel away from the hunter and April, between Axel and on his side. Axel then got to his paws and faced the reckless. He then knocked her down and stood above her, pinning her to the ground. Then, as he growled at her, Rick finally was ready with the crossbow. So he fired the arrow, breaking the necklace and amulet. Then, when that happened, Axel looked at the ground in anger, but stayed where he was. Cat took a few steps forward. Axel, you don't want to hurt anyone that doesn't deserve it. I made a mistake centuries ago. I let my vampire urges and emotions control me in the moment, which led us to this. I'm sorry for what I did, but I know I can't change anything, much less make up for anything. All I can do is apologize to you for what I did. It's me that you want, so let Nadia go. He looked at her. Then, after a moment of debating, he let Nadia go before launching himself at Cat. It was too late for him to get his vengeance, though, because Rook shot him with his handgun just as he leapt at her, killing the wolf. Cat took a few steps back before going over and joining her captors. After Nadia took care of the werewolf, they all went back home. Chapter 4 Afterward. After everything was said and done, Shiva Cat finally got her happiness. Though she knew that Elijah would always be there if she knew that she needed him, she found Rick to be someone into her life that would also protect her. And after the huge threat that had been over with, she and Rick went back to his apartment to live, while Nadia found her own house to stay in. And after Rick and Kat had been there for one another for a few months, and after growing close with one another, they soon fell in love, which gave Kat a new meaning to her human life. And so, with Rick, she learned to enjoy being human, no matter what came her or their way.